Welcome to Motivational Humanity. You are not alone.
You know, there's something sacred about the moments when life goes quiet, when the applause stops, when no one texts back, when you realize the people you thought would cheer for you are watching from a distance, silently. And it's in that silence that you either break down or break open. I've learned sometimes the most powerful thing you'll ever do in your life is learn to stand steady when no one claps, no one approves, and no one believes. That's when you need something deeper than validation. You need an inner compass. Something inside you that whispers, keep going. You're on the right path. So today, I want to talk about how to develop that inner compass when no one supports you. You know, one of the hardest things about being on your own path, especially when no one seems to understand or support you, is that you start to question your own truth. You start to wonder, am I crazy for wanting this? Am I the problem? Maybe they're right about me. And that's when the first, most important step comes in: radical self-honesty. See, most of us have been trained since childhood to hide our truth just to stay connected. We learn early on that being honest about what we feel can cost us love, belonging, or approval. So we become experts at pretending. We say things like, I'm fine, it's not a big deal, or I don't care what they think. But here's the thing, pretending doesn't protect us. It just disconnects us from ourselves. When no one supports you, when the people you love don't show up for you, your instinct might be to minimize your pain or make excuses for their absence. But healing and direction don't come from pretending. They come from being brutally, tenderly honest with yourself. You have to look in the mirror and say, I'm not okay. This hurts. You have to admit, I wish someone believed in me. I wish I didn't have to do this alone. That's not weakness. That's clarity. And clarity is where your inner compass begins to form. Because you can't navigate your life from a place of denial. You can't find true direction when you're lying to yourself about what's real. When you start telling the truth, your truth, you start reclaiming your power. You stop outsourcing your worth to other people's opinions. You stop looking for external approval to confirm what your heart already knows. Radical self-honesty is not about beating yourself up. It's about meeting yourself where you are. It's about saying, this is me today. Messy, hurting, but still here. There was a time in my life when I was chasing everyone's validation, trying to be perfect, trying to earn love by being agreeable. But the more I tried to please everyone, the more lost I felt. Until one day, I just stopped. I sat in silence and said, what do I want? What feels true to me? And the answer that came back wasn't loud. It was quiet, but it was mine. That's what self-honesty sounds like. It doesn't scream, it whispers. And once you start listening, you begin to see that everything you've been searching for, direction, peace, confidence, it's all buried beneath the noise of pretending. So if you're feeling unsupported right now, I want to invite you to pause. Stop performing. Stop pleasing. Just breathe and tell yourself the truth, even if your voice shakes. Because the truth, no matter how uncomfortable, will always point you home. That's where your compass begins to awaken. In the quiet, trembling moments when you stop lying to yourself and finally choose to see who you really are. Now, let's talk about values. Because when no one supports you, when the crowd goes silent and the people you hoped would cheer are nowhere to be found, the temptation is to chase approval, to look for someone, anyone, to tell you that you're doing the right thing, that you're enough. But here's the hard truth. Approval is loud, flashy, and temporary. It's like applause at a concert, beautiful in the moment, but gone the second the music stops. If you base your direction on the opinions of others, your compass will constantly spin, and you'll feel lost no matter where you go. That's why you have to anchor yourself in your values instead. You have to find that deep, quiet sense of what matters to you. What kind of person you want to be, what kind of life you want to live, and what lines you absolutely will not cross. I remember a time in my life when I felt completely alone in making a big, scary choice. I knew it was the right step for me, but no one understood. Everyone I trusted seemed confused or even disapproving. And I'll admit, I felt terrified. I wanted someone to tell me, yes, Brene, this is exactly what you should do. but the truth was no one could. So I asked myself the questions that mattered most. What do I stand for? What kind of person do I want to be in this moment? If I can't rely on anyone else, what can I rely on? And when I answered honestly, I felt this quiet, steady clarity. It wasn't loud or dramatic. It didn't come with fireworks. But it came with a sense of peace, a sense of purpose, a sense that no matter what anyone else said, I could keep walking forward because my steps were aligned with something far deeper than approval. Here's the thing about values, they're like a lighthouse in the storm. The waves of other people's opinions crash against you. Criticism comes, doubt comes, but your values remain fixed. They are the foundation that keeps you upright when everything else feels unstable. And this isn't just theory. This is real life. I've seen people, women, men, who had no one in their corner, who felt completely isolated, and yet they flourished. Why? Not because someone gave them a green light, not because they were praised or cheered on. They flourished because they knew who they were, what they would stand for, and what they would never compromise. That internal anchor became their compass. So when you feel unseen, unheard, unsupported, stop looking outward. Stop chasing someone else's approval. Instead, look inward. Ask yourself, what matters to me? What will I honor even if the whole world disagrees? Anchor yourself there. Build your life from that place. Because when your compass is rooted in your values, you no longer need anyone else to validate your journey. You can move forward with quiet confidence, knowing that you are walking your truth. Now let's talk about loneliness. I know it's not a word most of us want to sit with. Loneliness feels heavy. It feels sharp. It feels like a hole in your chest where love, support, and understanding should be. And when no one supports you, loneliness can feel overwhelming, like the world has turned away, like everyone else has a map, and you're wandering in the dark. But here's the paradox, Di. Loneliness is not your enemy. Loneliness is a teacher. It's the space where your inner compass begins to find its voice. It's where you meet yourself again, without distraction, without influence, without the noise of other people's expectations. I remember a season in my life when I was utterly alone. Friends had moved on, family was distant, and the people I thought would stand with me quietly disappeared. I felt invisible. And at first, it terrified me. I wanted to call someone, anyone, to fill that emptiness. I wanted validation. I wanted reassurance that I wasn't failing. But the calls went unanswered. And eventually, I had no choice but to sit with the loneliness. At first, it felt unbearable. But over time, something miraculous happened. In the stillness, I began to hear my own voice. My true voice, not the one shaped by other people's expectations. I began to understand what I actually wanted, what I actually valued, what I actually needed. I began to feel my own strength, my own resilience, my own courage. Loneliness forces you to look inward. And when you do, you realize that you are not as fragile as you thought. You are not lost, you are growing. You are learning, you are becoming. Every uncomfortable, empty moment is like a drop of water in the soil, quiet, invisible, but nourishing something deep and lasting inside you. And here's something important. Sitting with loneliness is not the same as giving up. It's not self-punishment, it's presence. It's showing up for yourself when no one else will. It's listening to your own heart, even when it trembles with fear, longing, or doubt. It's realizing that your own company can be enough, not because you are indifferent to others, but because you have learned to rely on yourself when the world goes silent. The people who support you might not always be there. The applause might fade. But when you have learned to sit with yourself, when you have learned to meet your own gaze without flinching, you gain something no one can take from you, a deep, unshakable connection to yourself. That connection becomes the very needle of your inner compass, pointing you forward, guiding your steps, even in the darkest nights. So if you're feeling lonely tonight, I want you to breathe and remember this. It's in this quiet, aching, empty space that you find the courage to hear yourself. It's in this space that your inner compass is born. And every moment you sit with yourself, without distraction, without avoidance, you are getting stronger. You are becoming more whole. You are finding your direction. Now, let's talk about energy. Because when no one supports you, when the world feels heavy and your heart is tender, your energy becomes sacred. And the truth is, most of us give it away too easily. We give it away to people who don't respect it, to people who don't understand it, to situations that drain rather than nourish us. And when you're navigating your own path, when you're trying to follow your inner compass, giving your energy away carelessly can leave you feeling lost, depleted, and off course. I've watched it happen over and over again. People who are brilliant, kind, and resilient, but who keep pouring themselves into others who don't see them. They bend over backward, sacrifice their own needs, tolerate disrespect, and hope that someday someone will recognize their worth. And when recognition doesn't come, when appreciation doesn't show up, they wonder why they feel empty. The answer is simple: they've been investing their energy in the wrong places. Your energy is not infinite. It's not a resource to be wasted on people who only take, criticize, or dismiss you. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it's survival. It's how you honor the life you're trying to build, the inner compass you're learning to trust, the person you are becoming. I remember a time when I was trying to please everyone around me. I was exhausted, I was depleted. And yet, I kept showing up for people who didn't even notice. And then one day, I realized that I had been treating my energy like it was unlimited. And it's not. I had been giving away pieces of my soul without asking if it was safe to do so. That's when I began to learn the importance of boundaries, of protecting my time, my attention, and my heart. Learning to protect your energy means learning to say no without guilt. It means walking away from relationships or situations that drain you. It means giving yourself permission to rest, to recharge, to be still, to listen to your own inner voice without distraction. It means being intentional about who and what you allow into your life. Because every decision about your energy is a vote for the person you are becoming and the direction you are choosing to walk. And here's the thing: when you protect your energy, your inner compass grows stronger. The noise fades. The distractions disappear. The doubts and fears that come from relying on others' approval are replaced by clarity. You begin to feel the subtle, quiet guidance of your own heart, telling you which way to go. So if you've been feeling exhausted, unseen, or unappreciated, I want you to remember this: your energy is sacred. Treat it as such. Give it only to the people, places, and activities that nourish your soul. Protect your peace. Protect your focus. Protect the quiet, sacred space inside you where your inner compass lives. Because when you do, you'll find that the path becomes clearer, the steps feel steadier, and even when no one supports you, you have everything you need to keep moving forward. And finally, let's talk about trust. The slow, quiet growth that happens when no one is watching, when no one is cheering, when you feel completely alone. Because here's the truth: most of the real work in life, the work that shapes your character, your courage, and your compass, happens out of sight. It doesn't happen in moments of applause or recognition. It happens in the small, invisible choices you make every day. It happens when you get out of bed after a night of tears and disappointment. It happens when you choose to speak your truth, even though no one else is listening. It happens when you take a step forward, even though the path is uncertain and you can't see what's at the end. It's quiet, it's subtle, and most people will never notice. And yet, that's where the real strength is built, in the moments you think don't matter. I've seen people, brilliant, sensitive, courageous people, go through seasons where they felt invisible, unsupported, even abandoned. And at first, they flounder. They question themselves. They doubt. They wonder if all of their effort, all of their striving even matters. But then something remarkable happens. Slowly, quietly, imperceptibly, they start to trust themselves. They start to see that every time they've stayed true to their values, every time they've honored their boundaries, every time they've shown up for themselves, they were being guided by an inner compass that never failed them. Trusting this slow, quiet growth is hard because we live in a culture that celebrates instant results, visible success, and public approval. We want immediate feedback, immediate validation, immediate reassurance. But life rarely works that way. Your inner compass is not a device that gives you step-by-step directions. It's a subtle, gentle guide that works when you have the patience to listen. And the more you honor it, the stronger it becomes. I want you to picture your life like a garden. Every difficult choice you've made, every boundary you've set, every moment you've chosen yourself. It's like planting a seed in the soil. You don't see the growth immediately. Sometimes it feels like nothing is happening at all. But underneath the surface, roots are forming, strength is building, direction is being cultivated. And one day, the garden will bloom in ways you never imagined, quietly, beautifully, and fully alive. So if you're in a season where you feel unsupported, overlooked, or misunderstood, I want you to remember this. The growth that matters most is the growth no one can see. Your inner compass is being trained, nurtured, and strengthened with every quiet act of courage, every step you take aligned with your values, and every moment you sit with yourself and your truth. Trust the slow unfolding. Trust that even when the world is silent, you are moving forward. Trust that the small, invisible choices you make every day are shaping a life that is deeply authentic, resilient, and guided by a compass that no one can take away. Because one day, maybe sooner than you think, you will look back and realize that the very season you thought was lonely and unsupported was the season that prepared you for everything that mattered most. That season built your compass. That season built you. So if you're standing in that lonely place tonight, where no one supports you, where you feel misunderstood, unseen, maybe even unloved, I want you to hear this: you are not lost. You're just being guided inward. And that inner compass, it's been inside you all along. You just needed silence to hear it. Keep walking, even if your steps are trembling. Because the moment you stop waiting for others to believe in you and start believing in yourself, that's the moment your real life begins. And one day you'll look back and realize that the season you thought would break you was actually the season that built your compass.